Hey there, my name's Paul, and this is Out of Neutral, a weekly tune-up where we look to the Bible to get in gear and follow Jesus into the life he came to make possible. Today I want to talk about one habit that helped me stay sane during some of the most dark periods of my life. Serving as a missionary in Japan was one of the greatest privileges of my life. I also experienced some of the greatest trials, however. The isolation, rejection, and spiritual darkness were real. Projects I poured energy into failed. People I invested time in walked away. And sometimes people in their brokenness said and did some cruel things. One of the habits that sustained me surprisingly was the discipline of writing a regular prayer letter. The elements that made that so restorative for me could help anyone looking for greater perspective and hope in their life. You can have 10 good things happen, and all it takes is one negative comment to ruin your day. Writing a prayer letter forced me to ask, where's God at work? Where do I see his blessings? Just asking those questions helped me see that there was so much that I could be grateful for. I realized I was often letting the negatives overshadow the positives. Psalm 103:2 teaches, Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits. Writing a letter to help people pray for me encouraged me in this principle, and it made me more grateful. Whether in a journal, a social media post, or a nightly prayer, looking for God's goodness can reshape your perspective. I remember a huge ministry discouragement. So much time invested, so much money spent, so much prayer offered up, and it all seemed to be for nothing. If it were just me, I might have wallowed in my discouragement or just moved on in confusion. But writing a prayer letter pressed me to reevaluate my struggles in light of who God is and what he might be doing. I asked questions about my goals. God had asked me to be faithful, but I had somehow made it about my success. I asked questions about my motivation. God wanted me to please him, but I had to admit that I was thinking about more my own fulfillment. The more I thought about God's perspective, the more hopeful I became, and the more content I felt. I think that's what Joseph did in Genesis 50:20 when he famously said, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." Seeing your hardships in light of God's purposes changes things. The main thing you need for a prayer letter is, of course, prayer requests. Writing those letters helped me to ask, how does God want me to pray about this? It helped shift my focus from my problem to what God might be able to do about it. Colin Smith said something like, worrying is just remembering your needs, but forgetting God's power, goodness, and faithfulness. Prayer is the opposite of worry. It takes the weight off my shoulders and puts it onto God's, and he's never burdened by it. That's what it means in 1 Peter 5:7 when it speaks of casting all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. Sometimes our prayers can sound more like panic demands than trust in a Father who knows best. Taking the time to write out a prayer and consider your request in light of who God is and what he might be doing in your situation can help you engage God more effectively and trust him more fully. That's what writing a prayer letter did for me. Maybe the same thing could help you. That's all for this time. If today's video has helped you get out of neutral, leave a comment, share it with your friends, and subscribe to join us on the journey.